friends, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me talking about my October TBR, which is basically just my trick or treat-a-thon readathon. If you guys don't know, I am co-hosting a readathon in the month of October. I will leave my announcement video down below, as well as our social media, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. You have like a day or a couple of hours to figure out your stuff if you want to join, but we're also a super chill readathon, so you can probably just change things as you go along. But I have a handful of books because during this readathon you can double up. You can use one book for multiple prompts, or you can double up on prompts if that makes sense. So again, super easy, so it's not a ton. And then for my October TBR, I have 2 electronic art. Before I hop into the actual like trick or treat-a-thon TBR, I'm gonna go over the arcs. The first arc that I'm going to be reading is A Night Call by Brendan Carlson. This is an adult sci-fi noir series set in 1933 in a world with free energy and robotic labor. I believe the main guy is like a PI or detective, so it sounds right up my alley, and I'm excited to see where it goes. This one comes out, I believe, November 12th. I could be wrong, but I do know it's around November. I'll have the release dates along with the title somewhere here. The next arc that I have is one that is coming out very soon, October 12th, and that is A Golden Fury by Samantha Coho. This is a YA high fantasy, and that's all I really know. I remember giving the synopsis in my September TBR, but I'm too lazy to look it up. So it's coming out soon, and I both got this from NetGalley, so thank you to NetGalley for approving me for those arcs. Now moving on to the fun stuff, which is my Trick or Treat-a-thon TBR, which is, it's like ambitious, but it's not, because I got lazy and doubled up quite a bit. So the first prompt is witch, and that is read a book with a female character that will hex you if you mess with her, or you can read a book featuring a witch. And for that, I ended up going with The Wolf of Oriñaro by K.S. Veloso. This is, I really don't know what this book is about. I was just told that it's a Filipino written author with Filipino folklore involved, and that's all you really need to know. And I'm assuming that she will probably hex you if you mess with her, considering the back, it says, they called me the bitch queen, the she-wolf, because I murdered a man and exiled my king the night before they crowned me. So I'm assuming that if you mess with her, if she had the option to use magic, she would in fact hex you. The next one is Vampire, and that is the one that I created, and that is read a book with a love interest that you probably shouldn't meet in a dark alley, but you high-key want to. Or you can read a book with a vampire. I ended up going with Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. This is Sarah J. Maas's adult high fantasy debut, and I literally don't know much about this. All I know is there's a variety of like other fantastical creatures in here, and like it's Sarah J. Maas, so chances are there is going to be a character that I will want to not meet in a dark alley. But I probably will, because I have no self-control. The next prompt is read a book only at night, and I chose The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is a reread. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, this is like my 3rd reread of this book. I swear I'm going to finish the series. I'm just waiting for the last 2 sets of paperback to come out. But this is a YA paranormal thriller. So basically these people have their own special abilities between each other, and there's a murder mystery involved, some culty stuff going on, death, decay, horror, murder, ghosts, demons. This is a buddy read within the readathon. Me, Andrea, and Lisa, so you know, the Musky Musketeers back at it again with their buddy reads, as if we didn't screw up with the Shadowhunters one. But I'm excited to get back into this world. I love the writing, and I'm hoping that when I reread this book, it'll prompt me to reread the 2nd book, and then prompt me to buy the 3rd book, and then we wait for the 4th book to come out on paperback, which will probably take about 2 years. The next prompt is Ghosts, and that is read a book in a place that you want to haunt, and I ended up choosing The Beautiful by Renee Adje. This is a YA historical fantasy setting with vampires in New Orleans, and if there's one place I'd want to haunt, it's New Orleans, and there are also vampires, so it's giving me original vibes already, which is all I want in a book. And yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. I actually have never seen this Nikki. Ooh, what is that? What is that? Oh, that's neat. And oh, there's a map of the French Quarter. The next prompt is Demon, and that is read a book that has more than one POV, kind of like Possession. And I I'm hoping this book has more than one POV. I looked at the Kindle version and it seemed like there was, and that is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. This was a really big, like, popular booktube staple, and I've been meaning to get to it. I ended up downloading the free version of it from Tor, and it, like I said, it's basically like, from what I have seen, everyone says it's basically like Avatar meets witches, but different versions, if that makes sense. Like, we have your Truth Witches and all that fun stuff. So I'm excited to get into it, and hopefully it does fit a prompt, but we'll find out when I read the book. The next prompt is Siren, and that is read a book that has been recommended to you. Here's where we double up, and that is The Beautiful by Renee Adjei. My friend Kate from UT to Kate mentioned this in my previous book, I think it was my rereading TBR, where I mentioned that Balefire was set in New Orleans and I need more POC in New Orleans and New Orleans set books, and she recommended The Beautiful, so I was just like, well, I mean, it's for the greater good, so I guess that I have to buy it and read it, you know, just to support and to know, right? Very excited to get into this. It's probably going to be one of the first books that I dig into during the month, just because I've been so excited for vampires in New Orleans. The next prompt is Faye, and that is pick a book that you have been too scared to read, or read a book that you have been too scared to pick up. And I ended up choosing Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This and Ninth House is literally the only Leigh Bardugo books that I have not read, not counting that one like little offshoot book that she wrote about the Grishaverse and their like stories. This is a retelling of Wonder Woman's lore. I am a hidden comic book nerd. I don't read the comics because I find them really inaccessible to start, but I do love like looking up the Wikipedia pages and just trying to read more about them. And I do read comics every now and again when I can start them properly. So I'm excited to see how Leigh Bardugo writes this. I'm low-key terrified because I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. So we'll see. This is also another buddy read with Lisa. As you can tell, Lisa and I and our single brain cell got a little ambitious and decided to have 2 buddy reads in a readathon. Our single brain cell was not thinking well, or it was doing some big brain things, depending on how successful Lisa and I are at this readathon. And the last prompt is Zombie, and that is pick a book that features the disaster. Now, I don't know exactly for Connor when he created this prompt what he meant by disaster, so I'm gonna go like a broad spectrum disaster here and just say like any kind of mishap that could be potentially problematic. And I ended up going with Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is a YA debut that came out, I think, pretty much a couple days ago, and it's basically Yadriel ends up summoning a ghost, and it's the ghost of the most popular boy in the school who was recently murdered, and he won't leave him alone until they find out what the heck happened to him. And not gonna lie, coming from someone who probably wouldn't want the ghost of the bad boy to follow me home, but I would like the actual living bad boy to follow me home, this sounds like a disaster. So we have some Latinx representation and then some trans representation as well, so I'm very excited to go ahead and read it, and I'm super excited for Aiden Thomas's debut, and I hope to see more of their work in the futures. But that is it for the books that I plan to read in the month of October. I'm hoping to actually get through this TBR. It's not like a terrible TBR, but for some reason my reading has astronomically been slowed these past few months. What are you gonna do about it? So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, comment. If you guys have plans to join this TBR, tell me what your TBRs are in the comments below, or if you guys are sharing them on social media via a YouTube video, Instagram post, blog post, Twitter post, bullet journal spread, share those as well. We have Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts, so I will leave those linked down below so you guys can at us, or yes, you guys can at us, mention us, so you guys can tag us, and we can go ahead and share the love. But until next time, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in my next video for my first vlog for TrickorT TBR. Bye!